Hi, this is Zach Henson. We're talking about Mr. Levene in IO 519, and we're going to talk about Levene's test today. Mr. Levene came up with a test that was used to test, if samples have equal variances, is the purpose of Levene's test. It also calls for an equal variances across samples, called, which is really called homogeneity. And it took me a while to get that word practiced up, but the homogeneity of variance is what the essence of the equal variances within Levene's test is to determine. Some statistical tests, for example, the analysis of variance, they assume that variances are equal across groups or samples. But the Levene test can be used to verify that assumption. Okay, what is the null or alternative hypothesis of the Levene's test? Good question. Levene's test uses a one-way ANOVA, okay, that tests the null hypothesis on the deviation scores. Levene's test is significant if P is not equal to 0.05. That concludes then the null hypothesis is incorrect. That's what makes Levene's test important. Therefore, the assumption of homogeneity of variances has been violated. Jane Superbrain on page 194 in our book argues that when you have an equal group sizes and large sample sizes, Levene's test is very appropriate. So I think we'd find, according to Jane in our book, she says when you have large group sizes or large samples, then Levene's test is appropriate. So that concludes my analysis of Levene's test. I know that later on we'll be getting into ANOVA and some of the other tests, but I attempted to summarize Levene's test.